Bear with us 1 second. We're getting some meeting poll notifications and want to try to get those resolved for others trying to get in here.
Did.
All right, sorry about that. We'll keep rolling. If there are any Banner employees logged into the webinar right now, feel free to log out and allow space for a few others and come join us in conference room 4 upstairs. We'll keep progressing. We will record this for others. All right, we've got Project Eclipse kicking off, and a few of the timeline items. We are still planning to go live on the evening of July 28th, which means for start of business July 29th, we will be on, and when you access www.bannerengineering.com, you will see the new website that morning. Banner employees, you should have received an email with login activation link. You may have actually received 2 emails. The second email you received on July 20th is the one you want to use to activate your login. As of this morning, actually I think as of last Friday, everything was functioning in terms of that login activation, and that is for Banner employees. Everything should be up and running with that as of this morning. So if you have not yet done so, grab that email and you'll be able to get your activation going for the new website. We'll talk about passwords and usernames here in a moment. Today there is a domestic channel notification going out. This is going out to all of our distributors in the U.S. That information is more of an announcement about the upcoming launch. It'll also include features and benefits along the way through that notification. On the 29th, the email, actually the day of the launch, probably mid-morning to around the noon hour, there'll be an activation email sent out to our domestic channel partners once the site is up and live and functioning. We will send out that activation email to those channel partners, and they'll be up and running on bannerengineering.com with their access levels and permissions. Just so everyone's aware, bsf.com will remain active for approximately 1 year, so nothing will be changing with that regard. Anything you currently access on bsf.com, you'll be able to continue to access there, but many of the order management features and other things like that are accessible on bannerengineering.com moving forward. Logins. Currently, bsf.com, your login is your first initial and last name. That will remain active. That password was Banner assigned, so you should have that password at this point. You may or may not remember that password, depending upon how you save your passwords. Nothing about BSF level access is changing, so your current username and your current password will remain the same. Moving forward with bannerengineering.com, you'll need to activate your account, so you will need that link that was sent in the email in order to activate your account. If you lose that email or can't get it, one of the CSRs or someone can email it to you. We can get that sent out. Your username or your login credentials for bannerengineering.com will now be your email address. The group has ported everything. Your email address that was associated with your bsf.com account is now linked to bannerengineering.com. Your password from BSF is also ported over to bannerengineering.com. However, you can now modify that password and create something that you can easily remember. Those are transferred over. One thing to note, when you do change your password on bannerengineering.com, it does not go backwards to bsf.com at this moment. That may be changing, so stay tuned for any changes that might occur there. But at this point, if you create a new bannerengineering.com password, that will be different than your bsf.com password. Ultimately, when you are logging into the new website, there will be a forgot password link that you can request, and you'll get an email sent to you with a link to reset your password. So if you're like me and don't remember your BSF password off the top of your head, once you click that activation link, you'll be able to move forward and get a forgot password link sent to you and get that reset. All right, features for users. So users being anyone from the outside, any of our public account users here. Banner is not forcing anyone to create a login. We're, however, offering that as a feature that will allow the user to have an enhanced experience. So some of the bigger ticket items are access to my library, and we'll take a dive into that once we get onto the website. And my wish list as well. These are areas you'll be able to bookmark and save items. My library allows you to basically bookmark everything from a page to a document to product and allow communication, folder creation, and you'll be able to share that with other potential customers or distributors as well. Without a login, items are only saved for that session. So you can use those features for that session without a login. However, they will be gone the second you close your browser and return to bannerengineering.com. One of the biggest items is the enhanced product selection tools. We hope our users find navigating for product to be greatly enhanced. We'll show you some of those product tools. A lot of filtering and selection criteria now exists for those items. Distributors, once logged in with their security level, they will be able to access the majority of the order management tools that they currently do on bannersalesforce.com. The online RMA, quick order inquiry, order entry, all of those items for distributors will be accessible there. In addition to that, they will have a My Library feature and a My Wish List feature as well. We'll show what recent sales literature looks like moving forward. There's some enhancements with the sorting and search capability there as well, which will be helpful. And price and availability will be front and center on their My Account page, so they'll be able to look all that information up. Sample order, so they'll be able to enter those sample order requests right here on bannerengineering.com. No longer will they have to migrate over to BSF when they're looking something up for a customer. Reps and ASMs, not a lot of additional items here. In fact, I believe the only thing is the fact that reps and ASMs will be able to access their SPAs through bannerengineering.com moving forward, much the way you guys currently are at the moment on BSF. The window will look very much the same, and navigation will be nearly identical. We're going to take a moment here and spend the majority of our remaining time on bannerengineering.com itself, on the new site. Here's the look and feel of that new website. I am currently in Firefox, and I am currently logged in as a general user, just a public user. I've created a login here for myself so we can show some features. You'll notice across the top, the first link on the upper left toolbar is where to buy. This is a quick distributor lookup. In addition to that one, there is a button further down on the website, and again on the bottom right where we currently have it today. So in 3 places on the home page there is a where to buy button. Access to my library, my wish list. Any of our international users, you'll still be able to access the various website languages throughout the globe. These other sites, if you click on them, will port you back to bannerengineering.com as it looks today. We will be rolling out translations and everything in the next phase of this website launch. So if at any moment you need to go back to the old site for something that you knew where it was before, this is one path for anyone who might be on the phone as well. My account lands on your account information. It gives you further access to modify your account and access my library and my wish list as well from there. So if we start navigating under the Industries page, this is a greatly enhanced section of the website. We have all of our major banner industries identified here, and within each one there are a variety of application examples, success stories that pertain to each of those industries. So if we have a user who's heavy in this market, automotive for example, and may work in powertrain, there are some additional success stories identified that are specific to that person's interests. Here's a list of examples of those. We identify 3 of them in the beginning, but clicking this button here allows you to navigate and find a large list of automotive powertrain applications. If we were to navigate a little deeper, we start to find out a lot of details about these applications. As you scroll through the page, you see all the great pictures identifying the application details. But at the very bottom, here's a link to the products used in this application. So quickly from the success story, you're able to navigate right back to the product pages and start picking out model numbers that might pertain to what you might want to do in your application. That might vary. And again, this exists for all of the banner major industries at this point. Solutions is a similar page, however, it gets deep into the application examples. So if you're a customer who is looking for a specific application, you can start to dive into some solutions that we offer here. Ultimately landing you on a similar looking page as we had under the industry section, which is just a different way to navigate. One thing you'll note here is as we navigate success stories now, you do end up with some filters that allow you to decipher this by industry or by product, helping you arrive at that solution just a little bit faster. Take a look at the product section as a user would experience. You get this pop-up window with all of the business units that we offer. But once that page opens underneath products, you'll end up with the business units and ultimately each of our product family sections. These are series pages within each one. So if we take a dive into photoelectric sensors, you're going to note the different look and feel here than what we had before. You end up with the series page for Q4X, Q3X, QS18. All the major banner products are identified here, but now on the left-hand side, we have some criteria that allow you to start specifying your application needs a little closer. At this point, you would be eliminating product families from the list with these selections. Let me back off that. So if I wanted a foreground suppression sensor, I have a Q4X as my choice, and that allows me to eliminate the families quickly. If I take a dive into the Q4X family, you now see a quick video introducing the product, some bullet points. We open a lot of things collapsed so that you can make your criteria selections at the bottom here for the model number. But under downloads, you see the data sheets, instruction manuals, any videos that pertain to this product, any additional videos beyond the one that's at the header, and application notes. In the product selection area of the page, you can now start to define your application a little closer. So if I wanted a 100 millimeter range product in a discrete, I now quickly arrive at a model number. So the previous page does the filtering and sorting by product family. Ultimately, once you select a product family, you can now filter and get to a model number quickly. If I back this off, you see a checkbox on the right-hand side that has a compare feature. So I could quickly compare these two products by checking the box and clicking the compare button. In this, I now get a side-by-side comparison of the two products with all of their specifications. One really neat feature about this is the Export to Excel button. ASMs, everyone on the phone listening, this is a very helpful tool. You may find this helpful for preparing quotes and other things for your customers. Once this opens, there we go. One thing to note is you don't have to compare like products. You can compare anything on the website. So if you check that compare box on a Q4X sensor, on a bracket, and on a cord set, and then you'll be able to get this spreadsheet generated once this opens. Try again here. All right, let's try again. All right, there we go. I didn't pick products with product images, unfortunately, but you would see the exact same image in the spreadsheet that was generated here. This is a nice format, allows you to export these things and start cleaning them up and editing them very quickly with all of the data. We also have links at the top of the spreadsheet that direct you right back to the product pages. As I mentioned, you could do this with a sensor, a bracket, and a cord set, or multiple sensors throughout multiple product families as well. So this is a helpful tool to be able to get data out quickly and prepare some quotes for customers if you need that. Let me back up and show you some of the features of the My Library function. So if I navigate into a model number, if I navigate into the model number, I end up with a button here that says Add to My Library. That's now been added there. I can also open this data sheet. Actually, without even opening it, the instruction manual, for instance, I can also click this button here, which is Add to My Library. So if I navigate to my library, I am logged in as a user. I now see the Q4X instruction manual and then the item detail page linked. These are very handy areas here, so you can create folders. So if I wanted to create a new folder, I could create a Q4X folder, check these boxes, and add those items. To the Q4X folder. So inside my Q4X folder, I now have that item detail page and the instruction manual. Once we get logged in here, you'll be able to do the same thing with some of the secure items. So if you were preparing for a sales meeting, you could create a folder specific to each customer. You could save a variety of sell sheets and other things into each folder, and you could have multiple duplications throughout each folder. So that way it helps you remember what the items were that you were going to present to the customer and go there. I see Ken just chimed in here with access offline. No, nothing on bannerengineering.com is going to be accessible offline. So some of those features you're currently using on the iPad app may still be useful for you at that point in time. But you will need internet access to access bannerengineering.com and ultimately access your folders here. None of this stuff is stored local to your computer. You'll notice on the product pages, the CAD files are front and center. That's probably one of the biggest calls and application requests that my team here gets. So those are front and center. They're also located in the download section as well. As you scroll through, you see related products for each of the items here, cord sets, brackets, etc. That will be enhanced throughout most of the product families as we continue to access and update data through the rest of the what I consider some of our more legacy products. Why don't we switch gears here for a moment and jump over to channel partner access and banner level access. This will update here. So I'm currently logged in underneath my banner account, but I do have some distributor permissions that allow me to see some things that the distributors would see for order management as well, just to give you guys a glimpse at what they'd be using there. At any point, my account, clicking on that basically takes you to what I would consider your home page for all order or channel related secure content. This allows you to access price and availability here. It shows you a button for my library, and keep in mind this is a different login, so I don't have anything currently saved under here like I had on my previous login. All your order management links are in the front center. Samples, price agreement lookups, the price list are accessible there as well. My wish list, quick access to banner phone number in the banner shop. Navigating the price and availability section, yeah, bear with me a moment. Kelly just told me there's a lot of updates being pushed. Looks like, okay, we got that working here. So navigating the price and availability, you'll be able to do an inquiry there and return your results with model number, part number, US price list or list price, PDQ status of that particular model number, as well as inventory. This box here allows you to sort all of these items. So if I wanted to return the items that are in stock, I'll be able to see those quickly here and sort by those items. The star here is wish list, so you can click that to add to your wish list and review for later, or I'll show you a few items that you can do with wish list. This button here is a share. I can do a quick share and email this off to somebody. The next button here is the Add to Library button, and the eyeball is just view, same thing that you would get if you were to click on an item and access it from the price and availability results table here. So I'm going to add a couple items to my wish list just for use here in a moment. Under my account, we mentioned before, as a distributor, they can enter orders, enter an online RMA, do a quick order inquiry, look up all of their invoicing and shipping information. We'll just do a quick glimpse in here so you guys see what they will be seeing. So any of the inside sales folks at your distributors probably do this fairly regularly. They'll look at awaiting shipping with reservations orders. They know what's being shipped out at Banner shortly. They might also click on open orders. These are items with no reservations. This information comes up here in this view, and then they can access it further. And request a sample works exactly the same way it does currently on BSF. This allows you to go in and make that request for a sample trial for a customer. Nothing at that point is any different than it is today under BSF. Just how you access it has changed through bannerengineering.com. So I added a few items to my wish list. Now if I navigate to my wish list, you'll see I have these 3 Q4X sensors in here. Shows me the stocking levels within this, and it also allows me to add these to a folder. So I added that one. I can add all of these items to a folder here. I've now got my items in a folder, and I can now download this list as well to Excel from this standpoint. So then I end up with my items, short descriptions. Again, something that might be useful to create a document that you may need to send out or communicate to somebody else with quickly. Our end users have access to this My Wish List as well. So ultimately, they are able to create a bill of materials, a variety of items here, and then submit these to Banner. These ultimately will result in leads. We'll be working through how we handle these leads and process them in the coming week here, and these will be very valuable leads. Ultimately, this is somebody looking to make a purchase, and we want to get these into the hands of distributors as quick as possible. So we'll be addressing how to handle that. So I can submit that, and that will ultimately land here on our servers at Banner and be addressed. All right, I think that's about everything off of my list for the moment. I think there were a few questions, some of them we addressed. Jason had a question about my wish list and a quote generation tool. Ultimately, my wish list is that for the end user. We'll be looking at what tools from BSF are currently used and which ones will be replicated onto bannerinsuring.com moving forward. But hopefully, between the compare and the my wish list function, we might be able to handle some of those quote generation tools that you might need as ASMs there. Good question. Terry had a question about the documents being updated. Yes. So since this is online, if we do a revision of a data sheet that you have saved in one of your folders, that will be dynamically updated, since ultimately what you're storing in your library are really just bookmarked links. So we'll be able to access those, the most current documents that are available at Banner. All right, any other questions if you have them? If you have any questions, chat them in the box if you would like to, and I can unmute you and you can ask the question. Mirrors and brackets added to the accessory section. Ultimately, those will be related products. So we've got a lot of related activity that we need to finish up. Many of those will not be live and active for launch, but that is something that's being worked on actively here at Banner. They will still be visible within the data sheets, so that part has not changed moving forward. All right. I don't see any other questions coming in. So just to review, the website will be live the morning of, actually the evening of July 28th. Ultimately, start of business July 29th. If you don't yet have an activation email, you should contact. I'll get one this week. I mean, most of them. Yeah. All domestic people should have one. International folks that are on the phone with us, you will be getting an activation email this week to be able to activate your account. And I think that's it. We'll close the webinar at this point. Thank you all.